on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Tucker now for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. The Steelers send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. This is brought in at the 21. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Hey, me and you all day. All day. I'm coming over. I'm coming after you.
They go play action now. Jackson, they'll roll him out right. He's going to take off with it. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. Play action. Now Jackson on the move to his left. Now he'll pull it down. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
You must be dreaming. Off.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action.
He's coming to you. He's coming to you. Motion. Hey. Check four. Get a roll. West.
Now Jackson on first down. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Miles Boykin with his second touchdown here in this first half as his guys continue to pour it on. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Franks. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give them a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Jackson now. Off play action. Got him in. It's Brown. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Off the play fake, Jackson. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. 16 yards on that one, and a Raven first. Jackson and the offense come up 1st and 10. And he's now 10 of 10 throwing the ball here to start the game. Throwing is Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Tucker with the extra point, and the rout is on here in this first half. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
And they're going to be waiting for him as they get him behind the line. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Joey Bosa, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Looking to throw. Franks. And that will be incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
That's pulled in at the 32. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Aaron Donald in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no win. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, yeah. Right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's a 2nd and 7. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
Here we go. Set. Nice.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Hey, you don't want to see me. Zoom, fellas, let's go. 29 is the mic.
Looking to throw on second down. Franks, he gets this one to Johnson. The reception good for 7. It's third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. From the gun, Franks, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down.
Smoke. 29 is the mic. Mic 29. Ready, go.
They'll try and throw for it here. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape.
50, Mike's 50. Don't get nervous. Slam, slam, slam. Wait. Mike's 50, Mike, up, go. Hey, pick your game up. Check your hot read.
Jackson off the play fake. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
50, Mike 50. Oh, you got deep? 50.
Second and 10. Here's Jackson again. Forced out to his left. He'll run it. Past the 20. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's got it. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him?
And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Get off the field. Let's get off the field. Ready, go.
And to give this time to the tailback. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield. and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now. Back now in Pittsburgh, and this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is taken at the 23. A good return there. Call it 13 yards.
First and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bud Dupree in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
Lucky.
Jackson. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. The 20. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, 74 yards. As his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Franks. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game, and they've done a great job of doing that.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Back to throw. Franks. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Off play action. Franks sliding out of the pocket. His throw incomplete. James Washington was the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
3-2-18. Chopper.
To throw again. Franks. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
This is taken around the 12.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Ready, set. Mike 29. I got you. I got you. Pilot 64, weak. Let's go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Foxtrot. 29 is the Mike. Mike 29. Go.
On 3rd down, Franks. He's going to let it fly. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it.
Go. What do you want? Go. SOS. Check 52. H3. 218. Help. Hey, kick. Leo. 25.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. He got 29 yards that time. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, watch it. 22, Jet, Bubba. 22, Jet, Bubba.
Now Jackson, off play action. This will be caught by Brown. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Kill. Hey, turn it up. Check 13.
Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. Looking left sideline, it's complete. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
A gain of 16 yards. First down, Baltimore.
Hey, check 24. Watch 24. That's it. Switch.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Off the play fake, Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Well, this D, particularly the secondary, has been picked apart at points here tonight. They finally, though, get to the quarterback, get a pick.
And we know this about him. He loves night games, loves the spotlight, loves being the center.
And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 34. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys are just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Ravens, they remain in the hunt for a first-round bye as they move to 11-3 on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey.